All right, we are getting pictures of Prime Minister Narendra Modi leaving for his two-nation tour, beginning with France, where he is a guest of honor at the Bastille Day Parade, which happens tomorrow. It's a very significant visit for Europe, or India's relationship in Europe, India's anchor in Europe, and France happens strategic partner. In fact, Prime Minister is going to be there as a special invitee because India and France are completing 25 years of their strategic partnership. The strategic partnership began because that's the year where India carried out its nuclear tests, and it was sort of a relationship winter when the West was putting pressure with sanctions led by the United States, and yet we had France, which was open to the idea of a strategic partnership with India. So it was, in many ways, a reflection of the kind of long-term vision that France had about where India would be 25 years from now, and in 1998. And now, when we complete 25 years, Prime Minister as a special invitee at the Bastille Day Parade, which is an honor not given often now. So the last time they had a foreign guest at the Bastille Day Parade, which is their national day, was in 2017 when Barack Obama, when we had Barack Obama, I believe, as the president. And since then, we have had nobody as a guest on the Bastille Day Parade. So it's important that it's going to be significant for the visit for the kind of engagements that are planned. Apart from the softer ones, like Prime Minister being hosted for a state dinner at the Louvre Museum, and the pictures of which would come with the celebrations of the National Day of France taking place in the backdrop with fireworks and all those things in the backdrop. But apart from that, the important one would be a document that the two leaders are expected to sign on the future of India-France relationship over the next 25 years. And apart from that, the deals which are being talked about and which have been the focus of the conversation on this visit over the last 1 week or 10 days as a build-up to Prime Minister's leaving, which we are seeing in the pictures now of India and France signing a government-to-government deal on purchase of Rafale aircraft Marines, as in the Rafale aircrafts meant for the indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. Remember, we have had Vikrant commissioned earlier this year, and we are yet to get aircrafts for the aircraft carrier. So that's going to happen. 26 of them, 18 for on the deck, and 8 which are going to be used for training and maintenance and change of the existing aircraft of the deck. So a total of 26, and then apart from that, the Scorpion-class submarines, which India already has 5, or 6 actually, 5 already commissioned. 1 is going to be commissioned later next year. And then maybe decided they need more, so 3 more. An agreement to be signed for 3 more. Of course, they would be built at Mazagaon docks in Mumbai. And that's something which is also very important or significant, which is that unlike other Western nations, including the United States, the French have been a little more open to the idea of making in India, of technology transfer. And you can expect that when when the joint statement happens between the two sides and the delegation level talks happen between Prime Minister Modi and President Macron, you would see some thrashing out of this technology transfer aspect. So like we saw in the case of the United States last month when Prime Minister was there on a state visit, the kind of scaling up of exchange of businesses insofar as technology transfer is concerned happened. Similarly, it is expected that this time this is going to happen in France, with France, and not just about military technology. Of course, that's going to be the significant aspect, but even otherwise, for example, in spacefaring and other things, if India and France come together and decide that they are going to scale it up, this is going to be a showpiece of the visit, the technology transfer part. And Prime Minister is departing now, and he will arrive in Paris at around 4 p.m. IST, and he will receive a ceremonial welcome at the Orly airport in Paris. and that's at around 7:30 p.m. is the time when Prime Minister will arrive at the Senate. That's today's plan, and meet Gerard Larcher, the President of the Senate, which is like the Parliament. And then at around 8:45 p.m., Prime Minister will have a meeting with the French Prime Minister, Elizabeth Borne. So he's meeting the President of the Senate, he's meeting the Prime Minister of France, and then he will address an Indian community at the iconic La Chaux Musicale at around 11 p.m. IST. Thereafter, at past midnight, he's going to reach the Élysée Palace for a private dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. So that's what the plan seems like. And this gives you an idea of a long day Prime Minister is going to have. He's starting early. He's going to travel for about 9 hours and land in Paris, and then back-to-back engagements. That's how it is planned for the day.
Abhishek, Samiksha this side, if you can talk to us more about the deals that could be inked, probably on the defense side, which is also on the radar as Prime Minister embarks on his France visit.
So, Samiksha mentioned the two showpiece agreements are going to be on the Rafale for the Navy and the Scorpion submarine deal. We already have them, and they've been built with French collaboration. That are coming, they're going to be built 5 in commissions trials, and would be commissioned sometime next year, early next year. And apart from that, as I mentioned, technology transfer in terms of other science and tech component, in the sense the kind of collaboration that's happening between India and France. It has to be taken to the next level. Also, it's likely to make sure that the two leaders would thrash out a vision statement, not just for near future, but for the next 25 years, because this visit marks completion of 25 years of India's strategic relationship or partnership with France. And they have been very stable partners in Europe. So for example, when it comes to the United Nations, if you look at the voting pattern of France, it is shorn of any activism that sometimes Germans do. And typically you would see Europe very gung-ho about the idea of human rights and sometimes taking a little blinkered view on that. But the French have been very clear that when it comes to India, it's a strategic partner, and there should be no dissonance on that front, and that's getting reflected in the kind of voting pattern we have seen, including a very robust support of India's membership of the United Nations Security Council. Then increasingly we are seeing France getting active in the Indo-Pacific, and there also a lot of avenues are opening up for the French for the French and Indian side to collaborate. And that's going to be a very important aspect of the deliberations that take place and the engagement that I just shared. The Minister is going to have.
Abhishek, thank you so much for taking us through those details. So, Prime Minister, they're expected to arrive in Paris at around 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and would then receive a ceremonial welcome at the airport. And it would be at around 7:30 p.m. IST, the Indian Standard Time, when Prime Minister will be arriving at the Senate and meet the President of the Senate as well.